The biggest decorating mistake for every decor style. Every decor style has a signature mistake, a tell, the one thing people do over and over again that makes a room feel slightly off, even when almost everything else is right. Today, we are going through 15 decor styles and the single biggest mistake that can throw each one off. Just the truth, said warmly about what goes wrong, why it happens, and the simple shift that makes the style work again. And I want you to watch all the way through, because I promise you at least one of these is living somewhere in your home right now. But before we get started, welcome to Home Decor 101. Modern farmhouse. The biggest mistake? Too many signs. Gather, blessed, home, eat, y'all. Y'all, listen, your kitchen already knows it's a kitchen. You don't have to label it for the household. Modern farmhouse works when it leans into texture and warmth. Shiplap, linen, aged wood. The minute the walls become a collection of instructions, the room stops feeling like a home and starts feeling like some sort of gift shop. Let your materials tell the story. Your walls don't need to narrate it. Now next up, this one is going to ruffle a few beige feathers. Boho. The biggest mistake? Committing to beige and calling it boho. Now, true Bohemian style is a riot of color, culture, pattern, and texture, whether it's terracotta, rust, deep jewel tones, woven fabrics, collected art, carved wood, and layers that just feel personal. It's not simply a neutral room with a macrame wall hanging on one side. Beige boho is what happens when someone wants the aesthetic without the commitment that comes with it. If your version of boho is afraid of color, it has already lost the fearless spirit that makes the style interesting. Now this next one, I feel personally because yes, I do love a maximalist room. Maximalist. The biggest mistake? No editing. Now there is a difference between collected and cluttered. There's a difference between curated and just crazy chaotic. More is more, but only when the more is done right. A maximalist room still has a point of view. It still has a color story or a color palette. Maximalism is not about filling every inch of every space. It's about filling a room with meaning and knowing when one more thing would weaken the story instead of strengthening it. Okay, so here's one that tries so hard to look cool that sometimes people forget that human beings still have to live here. Industrial. The biggest mistake is that people stop at concrete, brick, and metal, and they forget about the warmth of this style. Now, industrial rooms done wrong feel like a parking garage with furniture in them. The architecture may be impressive, but the room still needs to feel like you can actually live in it. So, how do you get warmth? Worn leather, an oversized vintage rug, books, plants, warm wood, soft curtains, and low amber lighting give raw materials something human to push against. Without that contrast, industrial style does not feel edgy. It just feels super frigid and cold. Now this next one has a very specific thing about it. And if it's done wrong, it looks like you bought the whole room last Tuesday. Old money aesthetic. The biggest mistake? Looking too staged. Almost like a Pinterest room. Old money style is supposed to feel inherited, like the items in the room have been passed down. The books, the artwork, the furniture, and the rugs have been in the family for generations. The rug may be a little bit worn at the edges. It's giving the sign that it's been in the family for 100 years. The books may have actually been read, so the spine is a little cracked on them. The art is there because someone actually loved it, not just because the colors worked in the room. If every single item looks freshly purchased, pristine and brand new, perfectly coordinated, and carefully placed, the room really doesn't look like old money. It looks more like quiet luxury. It looks like a stage set. The secret is allowing the room to feel like it's been accumulated over time. Now this next one is everywhere, and people keep stopping halfway through the assignment. Yes, I am talking about coastal grandmother. The biggest mistake? Staying too surface level. Now, you know what, with this style, people add linen, white upholstery, pale blue and natural light, maybe a starfish or a piece of rope on the side, and then they just stop. But the best coastal grandmother rooms are layered with aged rattan, worn ceramics, baskets, books, quilts, maybe shells from an actual trip, and shades of white, cream, sand, and faded blue. Now remember, it's called coastal grandmother. People hear the coastal and they throw a few coastal things in there and they think they've nailed it. But don't forget about the grandmother part of the name. Grandmothers have collected things. Their homes have history. A coastal grandmother room, without that accumulated life, can end up looking less like a beloved home and more like a beach rental on Airbnb. Now, this next mistake is easy to make because the photographs look right, even when the room feels completely wrong. Scandinavian. Now, the biggest mistake? Achieving the look without achieving the feeling. And when I say the feeling, I mean the feeling of hygge. Now, Scandinavian design is not minimalism for the sake of emptiness. It is simplicity in service of comfort. The Danes call it hygge, and the point is warmth and ease and everyday pleasure. A Scandinavian room should feel like the best possible place to spend a cold evening. The cozy kind, the candles, the soft wool throws, natural wood, warm light, a mug of something hot. If your room is visually minimal, but it still doesn't have that feeling of being cozy or welcoming, you have captured the outline, but you missed the soul. Quick pause, because if you have already recognized one or two of these mistakes in your own home, do not panic. Every decorator has made them. I know I have made a few. All right, back to the list. And yes, I'm talking cottagecore. The biggest mistake is making it too precious or too perfect. Now, real cottages are not styled within an inch of their lives. They have mismatched china. They may have a few overgrown garden spots, some books with cracked spines. They may have some herbs drying in the window. It's a working place here. So cottagecore goes wrong when it becomes like a performance of simplicity instead of being actually simple. Let the flowers lean a little bit. Let the books lean to the side unevenly. Let the room breathe a little. That's where the magic is. Now, this next style is often reduced to a walnut credenza and one little plant. I am talking about mid-century modern. Now, the biggest mistake is forgetting how playful it was. Mid-century modern was not designed to be this silent museum of tan furniture and white walls and one little snake plant in the corner. This era was optimistic. It embraced sculptural shapes, bold art, graphic patterns, saturated accents. Keep the warm wood and keep the clean lines for sure. but you gotta bring back some of that personality. Then it is missing the optimism that made this style feel modern in the first place. Okay, now this next style is moody, but moody and miserable are not the same thing. I am talking dark academia. The biggest mistake? Going so dark that the room becomes oppressive and depressing instead of atmospheric. Now, dark academia should feel like the most beautiful old library that you've ever walked into. It should feel moody and intelligent and warm and full of life and ideas. The secret here is a contrast. If you're gonna do dark walls, don't forget to add in the candlelight or the ambient lighting, amber bulbs, the glow of a reading lamp. Add in some warm wood, aged brass, and rich textiles. Warm light is not optional here, guys. It's what really makes the dark walls feel like a hug instead of like you're trapped in a cave. Now, this next mistake is very specific. And I promise you, once we talk about it now, every time you see one of these rooms, you're gonna notice it. I am talking about glam. Now, the biggest mistake, too much shine and bling. You all know the rooms I'm talking about, with like every piece of mirrored furniture that you can find is in the room. It's all gold, all a mirror, all crystal, all the time, all over the place, and is getting all on my nerves. And suddenly the room looks more like a Vegas buffet than a beautifully appointed home. Now, I can talk about this because I've been there. You all, one of my first apartments, I had mirrored everything, and all it left me was feeling cold with a bunch of fingerprints everywhere. Now, you can still go glam if this is your statement style. All bling, all crystal, all a mirror, the whole room is just gonna make it very cold and just kind of icky. Sparkles should be the jewelry, but not the entire outfit. Oh, and this next one makes me want to pull up a chair and have a very gentle conversation. Yes, I am talking about Japandi. Because the biggest mistake is that people nail the visual quietness, but they forget about adding in the warmth and the humanity of the style. It's just too sterile. Now, Japandi brings together Japanese wabi-sabi and Scandinavian simplicity. A Japandi room should include a ceramic that's slightly uneven, or wood with a visible grain. Those imperfections really give the room life. If your Japandi space looks like the good room that people aren't allowed in, then you may have certain aspects of the style right, but you missed what the style is actually about. Now, this next style is one of my favorites, and it loses its identity the moment people remove one key ingredient. I am talking about Art Deco. The biggest mistake? Getting the glamour right and forgetting the geometry. Now, Art Deco is not simply gold, black, velvet, and polished stone. It's bold, it's graphic, it's super architectural patterns, chevrons, sunburst, fan motifs, and strong repeating lines. That geometry is what separates Art Deco from your everyday glam that we just talked about. So find the shapes in the rug, the wallpaper, the tile, the furniture silhouette, hardware, lighting, and let them be confident and deliberate. Don't try to hide them. Don't try to go the really soft neutral. Let those styles be bold. Because without the geometry, you may still have a beautiful, glamorous room, but it's not really so much Art Deco anymore. And the final style, I saved this one for last because, one, it's my favorite and the style that I currently have, and I feel like it's one of the most common decorating mistakes of all. Transitional. Transitional style, the blend of traditional and contemporary. Now, the biggest mistake is using transitional as an excuse to be boring and have no personality. Transitional is supposed to be a bridge between two worlds, but for a lot of people, it becomes this safety net. It becomes a safe harbor for beige, generic furniture, and choices that offend because they aren't really saying anything at all. Now don't get me wrong, I still love this style, and like I said, it's the style I have in my home. But last year, I just realized I was being a little bit boring with it. 15 styles, 15 mistakes, and almost every one of them comes from the same place, just a hesitation. But the best rooms are not created by people who never make mistakes. Actually, they are created by people who have made a ton of mistakes and still commit to the decision. Your home doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to have a point of view, and it needs to be your point of view. It needs to feel like you. And if you're new here, welcome to Home Decor 101. We break down decorating styles, we solve common design problems, and help you create a home that feels intentional like you. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I will see y'all in the next video. Go make something beautiful. Bye guys.